feel like I don't have enough.
We are live.
We are. That's very exciting for us. How come I'm still hearing you twice, even though I changed my audio output?
Are you sure?
Yes, and now I'm getting you in a significant delay. Like the entire sentence, "Are you sure?" was repeated. In fact, I'm so sure it's the Shure MVI output device that I set it to. That is very odd.
So
Can you talk, Steve?
is Mimo delayed, or are you still hearing me on Discord?
Well, it's hard for me to say because I'm hearing you twice.
Maybe you need to restart Discord. That's what I had to do. It was acting up.
Yeah, exactly, John. I am sure glad you had that figured out. Okay, I'm going to quit Discord. Talk to me, Steve.
This is Steve at NosillaCast Live, brought to you by Podfeet Podcasts. How's that?
Well, that's not good because the delayed one that doesn't match your lips is the one coming from Mimo.
Really?
Yeah.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Well, I could. Let's see.
Hang on, hang on. Let me see what's going on here. Get into live show listen. Wait, this says everybody's in, everyone can talk. Oh, I opened the wrong Discord. Oh, hang on. This is anarchy.
Yes.
I opened Discord on my iPad when I meant to do it on my iPhone or on my Mac. But see, it runs on my iPad with. Okay, now I can't open Discord, so that's even better. That's awesome. Seriously.
So
This isn't
Discord
good.
is just
Oh, wouldn't the,
failing.
no, I don't know if it's Discord having a problem. Hang on. Okay. Talk to me now, Steve.
This is Steve at Podfeet Podcasts.
Wow. Yeah, you're way delayed on Mimo Live. Is anybody else working on watching us on the YouTubes?
Yeah.
You're
Anyone
watching
on
the
the
video. Can you tell with is Steve's voice off? Mine looks okay to me.
let me do a quick
Allison,
test.
it's out of sync. Is Steve out of sync or Frank or just me? What's your test there, Steve? Shoot. I asked a question and then I forgot the answer or what the answer would be. Frank says yup, but I forget did I ask him? Is still don't have video on YouTube, John says.
Um,
Why is that?
I do, John. You might want to do a refresh on YouTube. I'm seeing the stream at podfeet.com. There you go. Okay.
I guess it doesn't matter if I see a big lag.
I
Talk to
don't
me,
think
Steve.
it does. This is Steve talking to Allison at Podfeet Podcasts.
Oh, like the entire word podcast came after your mouth was closed.
Test, test. So I'm not sure why
And
that's happening.
in Nemo remote, it looks the same. Very weird.
All right.
Okay, well, if nobody else is seeing a lag, I guess it doesn't matter. It's only me. Well, we know for sure we've got Brett and Kevin and Dorothy. Hi, Dorothy, and Rick and me and Steve. I don't know if we've got anybody else in here or not. Looks like Rose is probably watching the video. Looks like, and we got a Titan bot going on. And Frank, forgot about Frank. Possibly miss Frank. All right, we've got a guy in a wheelchair doing a review on the show today.
Who is that?
His name is Tom Maddock. He's a patron, and he just decided to do his first recording. It's really, really good, and it's quite interesting. I don't know whether to mention on the show or not, but he's also blind.
Wow.
Um,
Is it
if
about
anybody whines and
accessibility
says
or?
it's too hard to do a review for the show, Not exactly. Not exactly.
Okay.
We'll let you listen when we
You're
get
just
there.
teasing us.
It's pretty short. Yes, I am. All right, I think it's time I start the show. Reminiscent of an old Japanese horror movie. I don't know. No, you should not mention that. Okay. The only way I figured it out was at the end of his recording, I could hear him turning off the recording in voiceover, so I cut that out. All right, here we go. Oh, I should beat Steve. Wait, I should say Happy Father's Day to him first. Happy Father's Day, Steve.
Well, thank you, Allison. It's been a good Father's Day. Although next weekend will be even a better Father's
Yep,
Day. We're doing a delayed
it was
Father's
a
Day
great Father's
get
Day.
together.
You got to drive an hour, then you got to do grocery shopping, then you got to do the laundry, and now you're producing the show, right? It's
It's
great.
like I said,
It was
it's a
awesome.
great
Oh,
Father's Day.
and you're gonna make me dinner.
Hey, but you're doing the dishes, right?
Yep, I know how to treat him. Oh my gosh, I forgot I have a present for you.
Right.
Hang on, we're gonna
Is
do
now the
this live
time?
on the air.
Wait, you just hit your button, Allison. Oh, she doesn't know it. This is funny. Al, you don't know it, but you've hit the NosillaCast jingle. It's just been playing.
Oh, it has been?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
What is this?
It's your Father's Day present, Steve.
It looks like it might be from Amazon.
No, just open it up. Don't look.
Oh, don't look. Okay.
Because there is a hint.
Okay. This is exciting. We need scissors.
I didn't do anything for him today, so I'm glad I remembered that at the last minute. Don't cut it.
I have to.
No, but I mean, be careful. You're flailing. I'm afraid you're gonna cut it.
You might not want to get too close.
With the scissors.
All right. Here. What is this?
Steve knows nothing better
What
than a
is
shirt.
this? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's great.
Show John.
Some of you will know what this is, and some will not. So, those of you that follow Tesla, they name their drone ships interesting names.
SpaceX, not Tesla.
What did I say? Oh, Tesla. Thank you. For those of you that know SpaceX, they name their drone ships to retrieve the stage one boosters, unusual names, and of course, I Still Love You is I think one of the first ones. I think they have two of them. So that's the view coming in.
The drone ship, right?
Right, that's the view that the Falcon 9 first stage booster would see as it's coming in for landing in the ocean on that drone ship. Thank you. That's a great Father's Day gift. And the guys at
Did I nail it?
The guys at Nico is going to love that. That's the podcast I listen to, Main Engine Cutoff.
I nailed it.
You nailed it. Good job. Might be my
I did
new favorite
good?
shirt. Because they're all usually about rockets, but this
Now
is
it's a good
retrieval.
Father's Day.
Yes.
Oh, I should have given it to you before you did laundry. I shall have to rewatch the video. See Steve get his Father's Day present. All right. Well, it's now 5:08. I should probably start the show.
Probably should. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to close the door. All right. Muting Steve. Here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, June 16th, 2019, and this is show number 736. Well, a happy Father's Day to everybody out there. I just gave Steve his Father's Day shirt in front of the live audience. Was kind of fun. It's I think it's pretty clever. It's a SpaceX shirt. So they named the drone ships that they land the rockets on. They give them names, and one of them is called "Of Course I Still Love You." So all it is the target that you can see on the top of the drone ship, and it says "Of Course I Still Love You" on that. But anyway, it was kind of fun because I got to give it to him on the air, so everybody got a big old kick out of that. I know NASA nut John probably had a lot of fun with that. Well, this week I was on the actual radio for my very first time. Sure, it was a college station in Cincinnati, but it was radio. Rich Stroffolino interviewed me on the weekly tech news hour about WWDC. You can listen to the recording of the show at weeklytechnewshour.tumblr.com, or you can subscribe to the Weekly Tech News Hour in your podcatcher of choice. I had a really good time with Rich. We had a blast together, and I sure hope to do more with him. In Chit Chat Across the Pond this week, Art Bouchatz is back with Programming by Stealth, installment 80, where he successfully explains the concept of JavaScript promise chains. It's a really brain-tangly concept, but when you're done listening, you'll know how to chain promises together, you'll understand what data passes through, and you'll understand why he says, "Don't have unhandled rejections. It's just not nice." You can find this episode your podcatcher of choice under Chit Chat Across the Pond or under Programming by Stealth. As always, you can listen at podfeed.com and find the link to Bart's awesome tutorial show notes. Right? I'm going to back up and put in a chapter marker for that. Well, this week I was. I think I will put that in there. Copy link. You're allowed to talk, dear. Come on. What's going on?
Yeah, just got a call from
Uh-oh,
Kyle.
Steve's
Not
off
sure what
doing
that was
something
about.
else.
Do you not hear me now?
Uh-oh. Does he know it's
Al?
I
Do you
didn't
hear
for a
me?
second.
How about now?
Yes, I
Okay.
hear you. Yes,
Kyle called, so I had
I
to
do.
divert that.
Ah, that's where it went. Okay. Let's see, and then chit chat must be this little one, putting in chapter marks for no reason. Les Newman? Les Nessman?
They were riffing
In
on
Chit Chat
your
Across the Pond this on what?
your
Your audio
WKRP
disappeared, Steve.
Cincinnati. What?
Oh.
You're going in and out. Am I
Oh,
going?
oh.
What's going on?
I can hear you now.
Am I really delayed because either you're responding slowly or
I have a probably pushing a full second delay on you.
okay? So they were just making
And
fun
so
of
it's
your
it's
radio
hard for
show.
me to. Good. What rate? Oh, because I was in Cincinnati. There you go.
Right.
Gotcha. 80. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is gonna be challenging. I do
Yeah.
not understand why there's such a big delay. This is very weird. We've never had this before. Always exciting though. Let's see. I don't think I need to do a chapter mark here, but I do need to record. All right, muting Steve. In just a little bit over a week, Steve and I are there, I cut that out. In just a little over a week, Steve and I are going on another big adventure, this time to Chile to see yet another total eclipse. Wait. Watching the women soccer team from the United States play Chile. I learned it's Chile, not Chile. Maybe I'll start spelling it right if I keep saying it correctly. Chile. Anyway, while we're in Chile, you know the NosillaCast will not miss a beat. We are not going to break our 14-year streak. That's because Alistair Jenks and Bart Bouchatz have agreed to each host a show for you. Bart will be up first, publishing a show around June 30th, and Alistair's show will be the 6th or 7th of June, depending on your time zone. He usually does it a day early. In years past, as they've helped out the show, I've put out the call for listener reviews, and you guys have stepped up and lent a hand. I am asking for that help yet again. Making an audio recording for the show has only gotten easier over time. First, start with a good idea of something to review. It could be software, it could be hardware, it could be a gadget, could be even an opinion on some technical thing that would be fun to hear about. Next, get your thoughts together, maybe in an outline, or if you want to do a full script for the show notes, that's great too. A recording of about 3 to 5 minutes long seems to be a sweet spot for listener reviews. When you're ready to record, the mic on your phone is probably good enough to get a good, clean recording. Later in the show, you'll hear some examples that will cement that idea. Heck, you can even use an Apple Watch using Just Press Record like Tom did for the review that you're going to hear in this show. Of course, if you have a big girl or big boy mic, that's even better. When you're done with your masterpiece, send them to podcasting at bartificer.net or zcarge@me.com. And trust me, that is in the show notes. Anyway, depends on when you get it done. Alistair's a little bit more prepared already. Bart could certainly use the help. If you send it to both, they'll be able to do paper, scissors, rocks on deciding who can get to use it. You could also email them to me at allison@podfeet.com. But after June 25th, I'm not sure how many internets I'm going to have while I'm in Chile. I really hope you'll help the guys out to make their job easier standing into the Podfeet shoes. Let's not break that 14-year streak. One more thing, because I won't be here, Programming by Stealth will be on a hiatus, and so we're going to miss one show in the middle. Instead, you're going to get 3 Chit Chat Across the Pond light episodes in a row. I have a couple of episodes in the can ready to release while I'm gone. Not exactly sure which ones are going to come out when, but they're all fantastic, and I think that you will enjoy them. All right, who's doing a review, guys?
You may
Yes, we
have
won't be here for 4th of July. You're right, Steve.
you may have said returning on June 6th or 7th, not July 6th or 7th, according to John. I don't know if it matters much in the recording.
Oh, it's publishing of the show. Yeah, you're right. I did. Now I gotta go find that.
It's towards the beginning, as I
Lie,
recall,
you're
isn't it?
right. It's even in the show notes. I was right. Yeah. I was riffing a bit. So the question is, wait. Watching the women soccer team from the United States play, spelling it right if I keep saying it correctly. Chile. Anyway, while we're in Chile, that's because Alistair Jenks and Bart Busschots have agreed to each host a show for you. Bart will be up first, publishing a show around June 30th, and Alistair's show will be the 6th or 7th of June, depending on your time zone. Okay, let me mute that track. Record right here. And Alistair's show will be the 6th or 7th of July, depending on your time zone. All right, good. That was a nice, I think that was clean. I think we're going to be able to cut that one easily. Thank you, John. I think you've earned the price of admission here.
Well done, John. Maybe it should be trusty listener, John,
I knew there
or
was a reason we let him hang around here. Yeah, does he get a title for that, Steve?
he might. Trusty
Real-time
listener?
editor John
Yeah. Error catcher.
likes that. Yeah, that's a big job. Don't sign up for that one. Did you know I have a staff of people who send me typo problems? Okay, let's hear if I got this right. Wait,
Not
why am
hearing
I
it.
not hearing? Can you hear it?
Nope.
Oh, I know I'm not hearing it because I muted it. That's why. Yeah. If and Alistair's show will be the 6th. Art will be up first, publishing a show around June 30th, and Alistair's show will be the 6th or 7th of July, depending on your time zone. Usually does it a day early. That
Perfect.
sounds a little weird, but we'll go with it.
I'd
I,
stay with it.
I can tell it's different. Yep. Thank you, John. Good job. Give me a chance to fix a typo that was bugging me anyway.
So
All
apparently
right.
our
Okay, so
audio
time
and
for a
video
chapter
is
mark because
way out of
Steve
sync on
commands it.
YouTube. Are you hearing me?
I told you that. You said it wasn't.
Both of ours are.
I hear you, but I hear you way late. It's not YouTube's fault.
Yeah.
It's Mimo Live because I'm seeing it way out of sync
Yeah, I
here.
don't know how to fix that other than restarting the stream. I'm not sure I want to do that.
Yeah, what do you think?
No, let's just push forward.
All right. Yeah, just don't look at our lips. It does make it hard to talk to you, but we just won't talk very much. Solver. Here we go. All right, here we
I'm telling
go.
Oliver.
No. What?
Frank says I'm
What's
telling
Oliver?
Oliver.
Oh. Well, they'll make better software for crying out loud. All right, muting Steve. Did you turn yourself back on? Oh, no. Wow, I muted you, and after I muted you, I heard you. It's because you had made a noise before I'd muted you, but it took that long time to get through. That's really weird. All right, here we go. I'm starting to feel like applications for the Mac never surprise me anymore. Seems that in a few minutes you can pretty much figure them out because they tend to work all pretty much the same. Once in a blue moon, though, you find an app that has a completely new approach and a unique interface that is just delightful. I have found just such an app. The app is called Solver, Solver, from solver.app. The tagline for Solver is that it's a smart notepad with a built in calculator. That is a technically correct description of the app, but it sure doesn't capture the beauty and uniqueness of the app. I'm going to see if I can capture it in my own words as I go through Solver for you. First of all, Solver 3 for Mac is $19.95 US from now till June 30th, at which point the price will go up to $29.95. There's also an iOS version of Solver 2 for $2.99 in the App Store, but I haven't yet tested out that version. Solver opens up with a left sidebar, which you can collapse, where you're going to keep all of your notes. You can name them, create folders using a little plus button in the bottom left, and drag your note sheets around to organize them in those folders. That pretty much works like any note taking app. But the center panel is where the real beauty comes into play. Imagine you've gone on a business trip and you want to capture your expenses. You drove to the airport and expect to be reimbursed for your mileage. You went to a dinner with colleagues on the trip, so you need to split the cost, including tip. And you had to pay for the conference you attended on a per day basis. In order to do these calculations, you could pull out the glorious program that is Excel or use the pretend spreadsheet program Numbers. But what if you could write in human terms instead of complex of equations and create a beautiful expense report when you're done? In Solver, you write in human language. For example, to calculate your mileage reimbursement at the US government standard rate of 54 cents per mile, in Solver, you would simply write, drove to the airport 17 miles by, up with another word for
Don't leave us
by.
hanging.
I know. In Solver, you would simply, I wanted to say at, and unfortunately doesn't use the word at. In Solver, you would simply write, drove to the airport 17 miles times 54 cents per mile. In the right column, you'll see printed $9.18, all done in human language. But wait, you drove home too. Instead of going in and editing numbers in a tiny cell, you just write times two at the end of the line, and you'll see a new total in the right column of $18.36. By the way, you can type in like a star two, and it'll convert it into X2 for times two. But later on, you're going to look at that line and you're going to wonder, why did I write times two? Solver allows comments, so you can simply use two forward slashes and write whatever you want. You can even use numbers in your comments, and Solver will ignore those. You can also define variables. In our driving example, if I write government reimbursement equals 54 cents per mile, I can now use that as a variable in my calculation on mileage costs. I want to take a break from the concepts of using Solver and talk about how pretty it is, though. When you define a variable simply by writing a word or words and writing equals after them, the variable name turns bright green. Everywhere you use that variable, it will also be bright green. All numbers turn bright blue, showing Solver has identified them as numbers. Any numbers in your comments will not turn bright blue because Solver ignores numbers in comments. All units, such as per mile or dollar symbol, turn bright pink. These changes of color have two effects. Most importantly, it allows you to see at a glance how your calculations are being interpreted. But almost as important, it makes the app visually very pleasing. It's not boring, it's colorful. All right, back to math because I know David Roth wants us to. When I was working on the example of a meal split three ways with a tip added, I wasn't able to come up with a natural language way of writing it all on one line. In Solver's great help files, they say that you can simply write plus 20%, and it should calculate that as though you've said times 1.2. But in my sentences, I couldn't get that to work if I put it all together on one line. I tried dinner at the Ritz, $326 equals 20% tip divided by three. I tried a couple of other different methods and I couldn't get it to work. I ended up putting each on a line separately, which disappointed me. I wanted to be able to do it all on one line. It wasn't equals, it should be plus. I'm stopping. Find, what are you doing? Find Ritz plus. Okay, I gotta send that to blog before I forget. Surprised somebody didn't catch that. I had a huge typo in this one. Math out of sync? Wait, we're having brownies now? See. I tried a couple of I tried dinner at the Ritz. All right, where did Solver go? Come on. Okay, closes itself after I repost it to the blog. Arr. Okay. Came right back where I went. I tried saying dinner at the Ritz, $326 plus 20% tip divided by three, and a few other methods, but I couldn't get that to work. I was able to put in each line separately, but that kind of disappointed me. I wanted to do it all in one line. So I just wrote dinner at the Ritz, $326. And then on the next line, oh, don't go off script. So I just wrote, I, I was able to put in each line separately, but that kind of disappointed. I mentioned early on that you can see the running total in the right-hand column. If you hover over any of the numbers, you'll see three little icons. The first allows you to copy the number. The second is much more interesting. It allows you to create a subtotal of the numbers above it. At the bottom right, you'll see a grand total, and it respects these subtotals. The grand total would be the total of all the subtotals. You can also create a subtotal by using Command T. Solver makes this pretty too by drawing a thin underline and then making the subtotal bold. If you got a mixture of units in the numbers in your right-hand column, you can't use the subtotal function anywhere on that column. And the grand total stays blank because it doesn't know how to add something like 54 cents per mile and then dollars and the other things. It just can't combine those numbers. It doesn't know what to do. Kind of a pity, really, because I like the total and the subtotals, but you can understand why I can't. I thought maybe I could drag the variable down to the bottom, but then that for some reason caused Solver to crash. So I'm not going to do that again. That was kind of a strange thing. So I thought maybe putting that I'm going off script. What am I doing? I thought maybe on. I thought maybe the problem I had was I had this variable in the middle of my list of numbers, and maybe that's why I couldn't do a subtotal above it. So I tried dragging the variable down to the bottom, but that caused Solver to crash. So I'll not do that again. Anyway, logically, it didn't make any sense to put it down there anyway. Variables have to be declared before they can be used. Everybody knows that. I should mention right now, I wanna say right now that, Zach, the developer, is extremely responsive. I sent him a couple of crashes that I had, and he's getting right on them, so don't worry about that little crash I saw. I'm sure Zach will get that done quickly. Fixed quickly, I should say. Well, the third little pop-up icon when you hover over a number in the right-hand column is to round the value. The pop-up showed a slider with the default value of 10 dp for the number of decimal points. When I moved the slider on my 54 cents per mile down to 1 dp, it changed to point 0.5, 50 cents per mile, zero point 0.5, and at 0 dp, it showed $1 per mile, which makes perfect sense. Going above the number of significant digits I'd entered did not increase the number of shown digits, which is a good thing. You don't ever want to imply that a measured value is more accurate than it really is. Rounding works on both entered values and calculated values, But oddly, it does not work on pure monetary values. I entered dollars and cents and tried to round down to just dollars, but the little DP slider had no effect on that shown value. It would be nice to work on money if it worked on money, since your accountant, especially your tax accountant, does not want to deal with those pennies. Trust me on that one. As you're creating your expense report, you'll notice that things are getting all jumbled together. You can add headings using a standard markdown syntax. For example, put a single hashtag in front of some text and it becomes a beautiful, bold heading. One of the great delights of Solver is that it can do math on date. I suggested up front that the conference charges by how many days you attend. We know we were there from May 29th to June 2nd. Do you want to try to figure out how many days are in May and add the days between the 2 months? That is far too tedious. We can't be worried with things like that. In Solver, simply write May 29 to June 2nd, and Solver shows you that's 4 days in the right column. Note that it's not counting the days on both ends, so you got to keep track of how it interprets that. So we can then define a cost per day variable for the conference. And now we can multiply the two values by just dragging the 4 days down to the next row and writing X times our cost per day variable. I don't think I described that earlier. I meant to do that. If you need a number, you can just drag it from the right hand column and drag it down into the notes field and start working on that. In my example at the end of each section, I created variables such as mileage total, meal total, and conference fee total. That allowed me at the end to create a grand total and use the addition of the three variables. It would be cleaner if Solver allowed me to keep some values out of the subtotals as we described, and let Solver do all of this math for me without variables, but it does work and it sure looks pretty. When you're done with your work, you can export to a CSV file, a simple text file, or a Solver file. I started with a comma separated value file so that I could look at it in my beloved Excel. It did work, but it wasn't more interesting and didn't add more value than the original Solver file. If you have to send in an Excel file, it's fine, but it's going to look a little funny because you're going to have numerical values in what look like a description field, and you have to spend some time formatting to show where the subtotals are and such. The TXT file was not at all useful because anywhere a number was dragged from one calculation into the next turned into a little square with a question mark in it. The totals were all there, but this file format would blow the top of your accountant's head off. I think the best way to export is to print to PDF because it maintains the colorful and informative beauty of the document. That final total I was so fond of and wished was available even with mixed number formats, for some reason doesn't show on the PDF. I guess I'm not that attached to it after all. Sadly, you lose the pretty formatting of the subtotals, such as bold and the little underlines in the printed PDF. I'm not sure why that is. While you're working in Solver, you can have multiple windows open so you can work on more than one file at the same time. That could be really handy. If you have to work in multiple currencies, Solver has you covered there too. You can take a value in USD or a variable and write in euro after it, and the value in the right column will immediately be converted to euro. That's very cool and could not have been easier and more intuitive. I'm kind of torn on the bottom line with Solver. As I said up front, Solver is a really beautiful way to combine taking notes with doing math. Its use of natural language will help people who don't like to do calculations in a spreadsheet. I hear those people are out there. I mean, I don't know any of them. It is inventive and it stands alone in its capabilities. I was a little frustrated with Solver at first, but the more I worked with it, the more I understood how it works. I did find those two consistent crash scenarios I mentioned, but I was able to very easily work around them, and Zach is working on fixing them. I told Zach I was going with an A minus for Solver, and he said I should have given it a B plus. Again, this is why I like Zach so much. He's so responsive to my questions and to the little problems I had. Solver has a free trial over at solver.app, so give it a try and see if it's for you. And don't forget, there's an iOS version as well. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Podfeet. So I don't
Why
know if you
isn't
got the
Steve
last
talking?
request, but
Oh, he is. He's just talking way later than I thought.
okay. So are you putting in your chapter markers and your subtitles? You are.
Subtitles, no. Chapter markers, yes.
Subtitles. What's the term then?
Yes.
Good.
Chapter marks.
That's it.
This is hard. All right. We're gonna have Tom in next.
Too bad your wing woman isn't here.
Is Steve talking? Uh-oh. Why? Because you guys are picking on me?
No.
All right. Next up is Tom. Listen to how good this is. This is unbelievable. This is from his watch.
Hey, before I forget, did you talk about seeing or going to Tom's event at the farmer's market?
No, I didn't. I forgot.
That's okay.
Actually, I thought about it and I wasn't sure what to say other than, woohoo, that was really fun.
Well, we saw NosillaCast a way or two. Brett was there. Met Brett's
All of a
mom.
sudden, your audio stopped. I don't hear you at all.
At all?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we did get to meet Brett's mom. Actually, you could drop a picture into the chat room.
I don't have it.
All right, I'm going to play Tom. Don't forget, there's an iOS version as well.
Hello, Allison.
It's in oh. Oh, we're let's see.
How delayed am I?
Bring it up. I think it's in delete me. Let's see. Yes, me. No, it's a lot. I mean,
okay, I'm
you
going
want
to
to
do
switch
a test
places
here.
and see because
I'm going
it's
to do a
remarkable.
Test, and when I say now,
So that
tell
is
me
Brett
when you
and his
hear.
mom.
3, 2,
Okay.
1, now.
Now.
Wow. Several seconds. 5 seconds maybe.
Yeah, I think it's up to 2 seconds now. Yeah, it was 1 second for a long time.
Hopefully Brett's okay with showing that.
Yeah, it's pretty gruesome.
It was
all right, I'm going to play Tom.
Picture.
Get ready.
All right.
There's an iOS version as well.
Hello, Allison and fellow castaways. This is Tom here. First of all, I want to ask you all to please help this great podcast by going to Patreon and supporting this podcast. Now, the reason for this message, I'm recording this using my Apple Watch Series 4 using a program called Just Press Record, which I may come back later and review for you. But the point of this message was to tell you why I chose the Apple Watch over the Fitbit. As Allison would say, first, the problem to be solved. I'm a person who uses a wheelchair 8 to 9 hours a day, or when I'm at home, crawls around his apartment, or uses a rolling desk chair to get around so I don't get sores on my knees. The Fitbit was taking every little movement I was making, and I was coming home at the end of the day with about 17,000 to 20,000 steps a day, averaging between 2,700 and 3,000 calories a day. Now, the way I understand it, every 3,500 calories you burn, you should be losing a pound. My weight has been pretty close to the same since I started. A couple pounds down here and there, but nothing drastic like it should be. So I've been questioning for the last few months, is this really working? Is this really accurate? Found a great deal on the Apple Watch on Walmart.com, where I work at Walmart, and got a great discount on it. I've been using this for a couple of weeks and found that the exercise on it is fantastic. And in addition, the Apple Watch has a wheelchair mode, which I think is great. It tracks pushes instead of steps. Now, I'm still getting steps when my legs move during my morning workout. I do what's called elliptical workout. I have a band I hook on myself and do my arms and my legs rolling around my apartment in that rolling chair. And when I'm home, I crawl around when I get home. And all those steps count toward my daily goal of about 10,000 steps. And I'm just about getting 10 to 12,000 steps still. And I'm getting about 4,000 pushes a day, which I think is pretty accurate. and the calorie count is way lower. The calorie count is around maybe 2,000 on a good day. That's combining active and rest calories when you're sitting still. So if you're someone in a wheelchair, I think the Apple Watch is a better system for tracking your calories in your activity. Just my 2 cents. Thought you all might find that interesting. And thank you for listening.
Isn't that great? I can't believe that that's from his watch.
Yeah, that's pretty
Gotta wait,
impressive.
see if Steve's talking.
That's pretty impressive to do a full review from a watch. Do you know what he just press record, or
I
what do you think
realized
he
I
used?
can answer you as soon as I see you finish talking. Yeah, use just press record.
Cool.
This is amazing. Oh, wait, they said they couldn't hear it. No, they
Oh.
said they could not hear it.
Want me to go over to Discord?
Have I been on the wrong thing all this time?
I don't know. Did we do a check,
No, I
an
think
audio check in
I
Discord?
have to change it. I'm getting a lot of lags on Discord too. Yep, I had the wrong thing on Discord. It's my bad. Well, I guess you'll hear it when the show comes out. Who's Loromac?
He was here a couple sessions. He's
Oh,
been
heard
here
it
a
on
few
YouTube,
times.
John says.
Remember, Loro?
I'm always suspicious that
isn't Loro?
Anybody I don't recognize is.
He is. Loro is parrot in Spanish or something like that.
Is what? Oh, that's right. Okay. Okay.
Welcome, guy.
All right. Well, trust me, it was a great review. Okay. Right, here we go. Muting Steve.
Just my 2 cents. Thought you all might find that interesting. And thank you for listening.
Oh, Tom, thanks for sending that in. That was really, really interesting. I'd never thought about how you would get extra steps, quote unquote, out of a Fitbit if you're in a wheelchair. That's pretty cool. And I cannot believe the audio coming from the Apple Watch is so great. So remember, everybody, I said you could do reviews like Tom. All he used was his Apple Watch. He could do the recording just there. So an Apple Watch, an iPhone, I assume Android phones can make recordings as well. I have no proof of that, but I have no reason to believe they couldn't. So you too can make your recording sound as good as Tom. And I want to point out exactly how great Tom's review was because he was very concise. He had a message to get across. He described a problem to be solved. I should have made that the requirement. Anyway, it was a fantastic review. And also, Tom, I have to thank you for your kind comments about becoming a patron. That was above and beyond the call of duty. But of course, while we're on that subject, I might as well remind you of how you can become a patron like Tom. He went to podfeed.com/Patreon and he selected a dollar amount he wanted to pledge per show or per month. It's as easy as that. And get this, it's as easy to turn it off or change your contribution up or down at any time. I thank all of you who support the show like Tom. Steve, I'm not going to do I've pulled the IQ7 thing. I'm gonna play that next week.
Okay, you have plenty.
Are you talking? I unmuted you. Actually, maybe you should type to me. Yeah, I've got plenty. So I'm gonna do security bits music. Yeah, we've got over an hour of security bits. And if I can delay, if I can steal some time for next week, then that helps me with um getting ready for the show or getting ready to leave. And I'm thinking I should start working on that Macstock thing pretty soon. Letting, let's see, it's probably more interesting to see. What does it? Nope, that wasn't it. That's it. I don't have that button. I need that button, Steve. You knew what I wanted. I was going to show this. I like showing this while I'm doing this. He types you may get it next week. I don't think Steve's presenting at Max Talk, not that I've been told.
No, but I have work to do, as I've been told.
I can hear you. Oh, by what's his Susie?
No, for you, for your presentation.
Wally. Wally has an amazing ability to get you to do stuff. Oh, for me? Oh yeah, you do. We should talk about that. I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. This is going to be a really weird presentation. Let's see. I thank all of you who support the show, like Tom. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Security Bits with Bart Booth Shots. Howdy today, Bart.
Hello there.
This is my 4th recording in less than 36 hours.
Nice. There's some weekends I end up doing 3 days in a row. I think might have been 2 weeks ago that I did whatchamacallit, British Tech Network and you twice and my own show. I think I did
that's
4
brutal.
in 4 days. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
I've recorded with you for Programming by Stealth, and I put 2 Chit Chat Across the Ponds in the can, one with Dr. Marianne Gary, the Crusher of Dreams, and someone she refers to as Mrs. Gary, her wife, Dr. Devin Polashek, who studies psychopaths. So we have 2 in the can waiting for us. I don't know when
I would
they're
love to be
come
a
out.
fly on the wall on their dinner table. Like Doctor, they must have amazing conversations.
We have been. It's a lot of fun. But we don't get to talk about psychopaths or repressed memories or false repressed memories. We have security to talk about.
We do indeed. We're going to start with a small amount of follow up. Thanks to a letter that was sent to Facebook by US Senator Richard Blumenthal, we now know how many people's Facebook were tracking with that icky VPN thingy app that that lost them their enterprise search for a few days.
Oh,
it was 187,000 users.
Holy cow.
31,000 of those were in the United States. And of those, 4.3 thousand, or 4,300 in other words, were teens in the US.
Wow. But that says
The remaining
150,000. Oh, okay.
The remaining users were all in India. So I guess they only did it in 2 markets.
Well, that's also interesting that it was sort of targeting 2 places, isn't it? Like, oh, they didn't do it in the EU? Why would that be?
Yeah, I can't imagine if it has anything to do with having proper protection laws. No idea.
Yeah, really.
So anyway, we now know more. It's not good news or bad news. It's just more news. So there we go.
All right.
So,
okay, this is getting really frustrating. I cannot type in Discord, and I can't really talk to Steve. So I'm gonna finish this up here.
Everyone knows what to do. Until the next time, stay patched so you stay secure.
All right, there we go. Okay. Well, that is going to wind us up for this week. But remember, you guys have assignments. We need some recordings. If you get them done this week, it's real easy to just email them to me at allison@podfeed.com. But if you do it later, you're going to need to figure out, you're going to need to find Bart and Alistair's addresses that I told you earlier in the show. They will be in the show notes. They will be in the podcast feed. Get out those microphones, get out your watch, get out your phone, whatever it takes to do a good recording. Think it through and do a recording for us. We could really, really use your help. And don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at Podfeet. And if you want to talk and play around in our communities, we've got a great one over at Facebook, podfeet.com/Facebook, and another great one at Slack for the people who don't like Facebook. That's podfeet.com/Slack. And don't forget to become a patron like Tom at podfeet.com/Patreon. I said it wrong. Podfeet.com/Patreon. There, I got it. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, there will be one more this coming Sunday, but we'll be off for a couple of weeks after that. But for now, head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. That was weird. I heard somebody hang up while I was there. Oh, Kevin did.
Yeah.
Weird to
Kevin
be
had
talking
to-
along and hear somebody just go, "Yeah, I'm out." Where is it? NosillaCast outro. Had to get jamming.
Me?
This is hard. I hope this doesn't happen again.
Do you remember what happened in
Sometimes
think it was
marital
Google
conversations. Actually, you
Hangouts?
know what I can do? I can listen for when I hear you through the door.
Yes. Allison!
No?
Can you hear me now?
That is so weird. No, what happened to Google Hangouts? For listening and stay subscribed. Nope. This is so annoying. Wait a minute. Now I hear you yelling. Are you yelling again?
No.
Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. All right, I am calling the show. This is so frustrating. This is really, really hard.
All right,
Oh,
Allison.
nope. Class can't be let out yet
Until
because I forgot to do a chapter mark for Bart.
Bart needs
I didn't do a chit chat one, and there's people who hate me and like Bart, so they like to got to get that one in. You're not out of class yet. Just a few more minutes. Yeah, he does. Right there's security bits right there. Ah, what happened? There, that's weird. Chapter marks disappeared. Almost done. It's very exciting. All right, now you're out. I think we are good to go. I'm going to export up. I'm going to export the show, and then you are released from class early. This was painful. Painful, I tell you.